Hello, my name is Andrew. I'm going to be today going through a VVKB heater. It's a 5 kilowatt heater. The purpose of this video is basically going to be a workbench test. I'm going to go through the functions of it, run it up, show you how to kind of do a mock setup, so wherever you are going to be installing it. Hopefully this can help you out. Myself, I'm going to be installing this in a pontoon boat, a converted pontoon boat into a fishing boat. As you can imagine, I'm living here in Canada. It gets a little chilly, and of course, so it's nice to have a little bit of heat. So I've elected to go with this after doing quite a bit of research online between all the different parking heaters, or diesel heaters is what you want to call them. I went with a VVKB for a couple of reasons. But I will be going through those reasons when I do show you the walkthrough. So I guess let's get at it. Okay, so here we are. This is your instruction manual for the VVKB. It is not bad for translation. There are a couple things in here that don't really pertain to this particular 5 kilowatt diesel heater, and I'll be kind of going through that as I run through this workbench test with you. So I think we'll read what I want to start away. I'll start with the fuel. So right here, just have some diesel. You can tell by the color of it. It is winter here, so of course it does have a little antifreeze in it, which is fine. The diesel heater will run right through that. I've already been tested. Up here, and just mounted, we've got the fuel pump. Okay, the fuel pump it has to be on an angle. It doesn't have to be completely vertical as you're seeing right now, but you do have to have it about 30 degrees on an angle. So you could kind of have it on an angle like this, but vertical is ideal, obviously. Runs up. Now you'll notice I've left quite a bit of fuel line here. Actually, as a matter of fact, I didn't cut any of the fuel line off that came with the heater itself. The reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to test how long I can run this fuel line. I suspect based on this fuel pump, it is pretty decent. I could even extend this significantly if I wanted to. One thing though, when I was firing it up, if it doesn't get diesel here, in a certain amount of time, the machine will automatically shut itself off. It'll just go into shutdown mode and shut off. And my diesel made it to maybe about here. So you can imagine if I had to run how many times I had to start and run the system before I got the diesel all the way here. Kind of a little bit of a knock on the unit, but to be totally honest, I was absolutely blown away when it actually got it running here. And I will do that in a second. Obviously, you can tell right here, this is my air in, okay? Actually, in the instruction manual on the part list, it doesn't say anything about a air filter, but of course it actually came with an air filter, which is always nice. As you can tell, I don't have it all clamped in. It's just a workbench test here. Over here, we have our exhaust, kind of venting out here outside of my garage here. And of course, the parking heater itself. Here we have the air intake moving right across. And then we have our hot air out. This is a completely, the combustion, the glow plug here, heats basically a massive aluminum slug, if you want to say it, or big ass heat sink. What ends up happening is when the heat, and then it's just sucking air and blowing right over that heat sink, which is really nice because this is a completely, you can set this up in wherever you're planning to set it up and pull air in from that area and blow hot air back out. As long as you have all your air in and your exhaust vented out, you can literally be completely fine in your area without any exhaust fumes or any gross smelling. As a matter of fact, I got right down there and was smelling, and it was fine. Good air coming in, so we're all good there. So I'm going to go through over here. It takes 12 volts. You can get a 24 volt version. As you can tell, I'm running it with just with a 5,000 milliamp 12 volt battery, and I'll be going through exactly how many watts and how many amps this sucker actually really draws when we fire it up. As you can see right here, this is the fuel tank, but this is an extra item you can purchase when you do go ahead and buy your diesel heater, whether it's the 2.5 version or the 5 kilowatt or whatnot. All right, so we're going to go over here and actually fire up the unit. Sorry for the camera moving all over the place here. This actually was pretty easy compared to some of the other diesel heaters that I've seen and actually read about. First thing we do is you press and hold it for 3 seconds. It'll light up. I've got it set to 30 degrees in here, which is these values you can bring up and bring down here. Right now, it's just going to not do anything until I put it into active mode. Right now, it's just blowing air. So if I wanted to get fresh air from outside or whatever in my vehicle, or in my particular case, it's going to be a pontoon boat, what you do is you just press it. Say A01 is basically fresh air mode, but if I bring it to A01 is actual heat mode, A00 is fresh air mode. So what'll happen right now is that this unit is heating up the glow plug right now. So let's go over and take a look how many watts and amps it's actually drawing. You can see right here, yeah, we're about 90 watts and about, what is that? 8 amps, somewhere around there, 8 amps, yep. So now with this phase will go for a little bit here. This is about a 2-minute process I've found before the fuel pump will start making some clicking noises. It's not actually that bad. It's not too annoying. They do give you a nice rubber mount, so it does stop a lot of that vibration, that noise. It does dampen it quite a bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stop the video and we'll start it back up when she's fired up. Okay, so we've had this thing running here for about, I'd say, five minutes right now. I've got it on full here, as you can demonstrate by basically pressing up here. It's set for 30 degrees. I can bring that down however I want to set it, but in this case I'm going to run all the way. That 7 that you just saw there, it should flick over there. That's the ambient temperature right now. Obviously we're not going to heat this up because my garage door is open and I'm basically blowing hot air that away. But good news, the air that's coming out of here is damn hot. Like barely can touch it. It's that hot, this diesel heater. I'm actually very impressed with it. On the initial setup there was very minimal issues. If actually there was no issues at all running it. Right here, as you can see, this is a bit of a heat shield here. It's for installing and mounts. I've got this laying on its side. In a boat, I'm gonna have it actually laying upright. The reason is because the boat's gonna rock, right? And right now, I don't know how many degrees of freedom I have to flip it basically up, kind of rotating it over 90, you know what I mean? So if I had it laying flat, I know I have 90 degrees both sides, both ways, so I'll certainly be installing this on the side. I do know you only have 30 degrees of freedom on this motion, so, but that should be okay on a boat and any vehicle for the most part. So that's it for just the bench test here. I will be doing another video on where and how I installed it in my pontoon boat, and then hopefully I'll do another video after that showing us catching some fish in the cold winter here and with the diesel heater rocking. Thanks, and from Canada, have a good day.